My next guest taking a deep dive into the potential of artificial intelligence, looking at how these firms are valued versus actual usage in business today. He says, and quoting him now, implementation is where value gets made. Both labs are saying the same thing. Building the model isn't the hard part anymore. Getting it to actually work inside a Fortune 500's messy real-world systems is the new direction. Russ Fradin is the CEO and co-founder of Larridin, which helps companies manage AI integration in the workplace. And he joins us now from San Francisco. It's a good and early morning to you, sir. Thanks for getting up for us. As we wait to hear the opening bell on Wall Street this morning, any second now, I just want to get your take on Anthropic's announcement and the other two that we are now expecting, OpenAI and SpaceX. These IPOs, of course, will give investors the first concrete window into these companies' financial data. We've just heard the bell on Wall Street. Of course, this is the Tuesday trading day, and we'll keep an eye on these on the tech stocks. But these IPOs are what we are focusing on. Will this put AI bubble fears to rest, do you believe?
No, I think it's, people like having something to talk about, and these growth of these companies are extraordinary. The valuations seem high. So no, I think people will keep talking about it. But, fundamentally, I imagine the stocks will do quite well once they open. There's a ridiculous amount of consumer interest, investor interest. So I imagine over time, the bubble fears will get quieter and quieter. But, who knows? There's always something to talk about, and the stocks will go down at some point.
Right. Okay. The big story is these massive companies out there investing trillions in infrastructure at this point. Why? Well, they're trying to get you, me, big companies, Fortune 500 companies, invested in using AI. How will it change and revolutionize all of our lives? Your company, Larridin, has compiled a State of Enterprise AI report. And I thought it was really interesting. I just want to dive into a couple of numbers that you highlight. More than 80% of companies told you that they are satisfied with their AI guardrails, meaning they've got a plan. But crucially, more than 45% of those organizations are unaware of the workforce adoption rate of AI tools and policies. What does that number tell you, Russ?
We're very early in this transformation. So as you'd imagine, normally it takes a very long time for large companies to adopt new technology. But what you've seen with AI is something I've never seen in my 30-year career in technology before. It's really proliferated every organization everywhere, all around the globe, all at once. And so you see a lot of people just scrambling to catch up with all of the infrastructure. There's been investments on the security side to figure out how do we secure our data and make sure it's safe, and what our employees doing is kosher. There's been investments on the training and learning and development side. Of course, my company is building a measurement platform to help companies understand what's really happening with AI across their organization. And so I look at these as just the logical things that people need, but we're all building the infrastructure on the fly because these technologies have been adopted so quickly.
Let's talk about some of the success stories on the sort of AI journey, as it were. A new Microsoft report ranks countries in terms of AI diffusion across the working age population. The UAE, where I am, Russ, tops that list with 70% diffusion rate. Singapore second, France rounding out the top five. The US, 21st. What can you learn about uptake from this report, and how do you think a country's widespread adoption of AI will influence its economic and geopolitical future, and the companies in that country, and governments, of course, but the companies in that country? What will the impact be?
I think for the company's adoption, it's a huge deal. What percent of the overall population uses AI in any given year? I'm not sure it matters that much. It's very interesting data from Microsoft, and it's very encouraging for the UAE. My guess is data like that has a lot to do with the demographics of a country more than anything else, really. You've seen these technology is adopted globally, truly everywhere. So my guess is it has a lot to do with demographics if you look at just population level data. But at the company level, absolutely, you see a real divergence between multiple departments, between types of companies. When we look across our Fortune 1000 customers, about 30% of the employees of these companies aren't using AI at all, even though tools have been provisioned for them. And so you're seeing a normal, like I said, diffusion of technology across the globe and across the workforce. And really what we're helping companies measure is how do we get our employees much more engaged in really using these things? It's one thing to, procure these tools. You have to make them a real part of your workflow to see any kind of productivity gain.
What's the resistance?
I don't know if it's resistance so much as just needing to build more enablement. What we find when we talk to HR, learning and development, think of the way a lot of things proliferate in companies normally, right? Normally what happens is you have some early adopters that use some tools, but otherwise HR, learning and development, management really helps their employees come along. And now we're in this world where everyone's figuring this out on the fly. So you certainly have some people who are, a little more worried about technology. They're worried they'll do something wrong. They don't want to get fired, right? Normal fears that you'd have. I'm sure you have some normal kind of stick in the mud. I want to be a little slower. I don't want to learn something new. But what we generally find is just as companies build more enablement and development, people get more comfortable. I'm sure they will see the same thing in the UAE with, this goal for having the entire economy agentified and half of the services running, agentic AI. As you enable people to build these technologies themselves and use them safely, and they feel they're not worried they're going to get fired by doing the wrong thing with the wrong data, and you have guardrails in place, I imagine you'll get to the point where 80, 90% of the company will use AI.
That's fascinating. You have pointed out a key phrase from a recent OpenAI announcement, and you've described as capability overhang. That's the basic idea that users simply have not maxed out the capability of these AI models. And this is how you put it, quote, "The gap is implementation. This is why buying more tools doesn't solve the problem. You're already underutilizing what you have." So how do you suggest companies address that capability overhang, as it were?
Yes, by the way, I think that point from OpenAI is a very strong one. It is absolutely the case that if the model companies, if Anthropic and OpenAI and others stop developing new models, we'd still have years of productivity gains ahead of us because every company is still figuring out how to leverage these as much as possible across the organization. As I said, for our customers, we see 30% of the employees are barely using AI, not using AI at all. But for the customers that approach 100%, they're obviously much more productive. So once you get outside the cost issue, which is obviously something people are wrestling with at the moment, the biggest thing we have seen for our customers is the more they can implement specific agents in specific departments, the higher the adoption goes. So expecting your employees to just sit in a Claude window or a ChatGPT window is really the kind of basic entry-level use of AI. And some employees know what to do and they become supermen and superwomen with those tools, but most really aren't sure what to do. They, use ChatGPT to check, when the World Cup games start, something basic, really, just a new version of Google search. The companies that are really driving change are using workflows across their organization to drive actual changes of behavior with, different agents at the department level. Those become much, much stickier for employees.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's good to have you, Russ. Thank you very much indeed. Some news you can use for sure there. Thank you.